Hello there, listener. You're listening to another episode of The Writer's Daily with me, Julius Reed. And of course, it's a great time to, sit back, relax, and listen to the theme tune. Yes, thank you, theme tune. Of course, providing us with love and care. And I just had to duck my head out. In fact, I didn't actually have to duck my head out. But I'm currently looking out my front window because I got this avocado tree, and I for whatever reason, I was just really keen to look at it. I was keen enough that I was willing to disturb the podcast to look at the avocado tree. And it's not looking great. I won't lie, it's kind of fallen apart, but, obviously everyone likes avocados, so, let the avocados live. So today we're talking about when did you first start watching porn? I thought it'd be a topic to discuss, maybe something that, you most likely wouldn't want to listen to, but we got to fill these episodes somehow, and in doing so, that brings us to the Checkup. The Checkup! The Checkup! Of course, Checkup right there. The Checkup. Julius, Daddy Dr. Reed, I don't know who this Julius Reed scum is, kind of like you, a porn addict scum, struggling porn addict, probably doing it 5 times a day. I was talking to a dude, he does it 45 times, the most he ever did it was 45 times in a day, and I'm like, that's insane, that's crazy. I guess that's another topic, but that's crazy, how? The most I did was 5 or 8, and I was in a lot of pain. Anyway, that must describe what some people go through, which, that's cool. I should have done that on episode 45, but it's 43. Yeah, so the Checkup, how are you coping? Did you meditate today? If you didn't meditate, well, you're going to struggle. You're not going to be able to develop awareness. You're not going to be able to stay calm. You're not going to be able to recover easily. And that's really the key point with meditation. You can recover without meditation, but you won't be able to recover easily because you'll be fighting yourself. And that's basically the reason why most people relapse, is because they're constantly fighting themselves. It's a constant battle of attrition against urges. And that's why it's important to, develop mental balance so that you no longer have to struggle with that. And you do that through meditation. Can I have an amen? That was not an amen, but I guess signifying, the feelings of religion. Is it a joke? Who knows? So exercise, also important as well. Exercise is going to help you maintain physical condition, which, is good for all sorts of things, and it does help you maintain mental balance as well. So that's why it's important to remain... I was going to sing something. So exercise, important. Stick to the exercise. You will be fine. So you remain calm, you remain aware. These are things you should be thinking about. And what are you going to do differently? Because, a lot of people, I think the reason why people struggle most is because they don't change. They don't really commit. They say they're committing, but they're not actually committing. Well, here's the wake-up call. Daddy Dr. Reed, you've got cancer, buddy. Obviously not a real doctor. And obviously, maybe you have cancer, and I predicted it. Crazy times. So yeah, focus on yourself and you'll be fine. That's right, Daddy Dr. Reed checking up on you. I just love saying Daddy Dr. Reed. The triple D, there's a breast size that I would be interested in. Which brings us to, what does it bring us to? It brings us to, that's right, the topic. The topic. Whoa. Thank you, topic. Man, I'm going to go outside. I got to check out that avocado tree. It's really not looking great. It's kind of like... I don't know. It's like a wilt. Just wait. I'm gonna check it again. Yeah, it's not happy. It's not a happy tree. But of course, I'm focusing on you, the porn addict. How we can help you. Today's topic is, when did you first start watching porn? It's one of those casual Julius Reed topics that I like to throw in every once in a while. Gives me a break from the maddening sirens of... Yeah, I got nothing. Personally, I started watching porn pretty soon, basically after I figured out how to masturbate. I don't know why, but it just sort of made sense. I remember, I don't know, maybe the first... I don't remember, I was 10, but I remember, I first was just masturbating into the toilet, and I guess that was and then for whatever reason, I just knew that you had to masturbate to pictures of girls. I don't know why, but that was kind of I remember the very first thing I ever masturbated to, and I don't know why I remember it, but it was a newspaper clipping. It was just a picture of a girl, But it was kind of like, that was like better than nothing, right? So yeah, I was masturbating to that. And then I remember this was kind of like before, I mean, no, we had the internet and stuff, but this was, what else were we doing? I was masturbating to, yeah, that's right. There was this, I was living in China at the time. So I was like, I remember there's this ad on TV and they'd play it every so often, but it was like breast enhancement cream. And there was this, yeah, it was basically this lady, and there was the ad went for like an hour. It was like one of those long infomercial ads, but I remember there was like this very specific, like 5 second loop of like the girl and her tits were bouncing, and like you have to time it perfectly to like obviously masturbate at that certain point. But yeah, that's another thing you'd masturbate to. But then it's just weird. I just remember it was just never enough. Like you'd always just try and find more and more. And then I think basically that's when I went to the internet, because I was like, oh, well, there's pictures of girls on the internet. So yeah, it's kind of like, it's crazy as well to think like 10 is like, that's really young. That's kind of like, I mean, imagine being addicted to like cigarettes at 10. Like that's crazy. Like it's just like this, it's just like crazy addiction. So yeah, but it's weird. Like as a kid, you think it's normal. Like you don't, like, I don't think I ever questioned it. Like I was kind of like, yeah, it's like I questioned video games before I questioned porn. Like I remember sort of identifying as like a video game addict. Like I would sort of just play, and like in retrospect, I don't know if I was a video game addict so much as like I was just a teen, and like that's just what teens do. Like there's nothing to do as a teen. Like you can't get a job. Like I had no friends. Like it's like, what's the point? Like video games are fun. It's something to do. I mean, obviously, it'd be better if I was doing something like, well, in fact, better is actually a really dangerous term, because you start making comparisons, and that's how you, end up with judgmental mindsets. And that's basically very much why I was very judgmental as a kid, because it wasn't like, oh yeah, video games are cool. It was very much like, I can't believe how dumb I am for playing video games. And then that becomes a very unhealthy mindset that you develop. So yeah. Newspaper clippings, and then it's just like it just started with pictures. I remember because they didn't have fast internet, so videos were sort of out of the question. But yeah, I would download like image sets, and I would save them in Word files, and that was basically what I would do, because like the internet wasn't fast enough, so create the image sets, and and then obviously that progressed to videos and multiple videos on a screen. That was sort of the next step. You couldn't just have one video. It's like you had to have you'd have to like multi-tab the videos, because then it's like I guess it's like you're having sex with 4 girls at once, right? And yeah, I mean, I'm glad I haven't seen VR porn yet. I say yet, like it's going to happen. Who knows? I'll have like some colossal relapse when my partner dies, or whatever tragedy strikes. So yeah, I don't know how I deal with VR porn. Like, it's like it would be the ultimate escape, I imagine. I've had a VR headset before. I definitely recommend checking it out. Like VR is incredible. Once you use a VR headset, it's really hard to go back to normal games again, because it's kind of like. There's another sound effect. I couldn't get rid of the sound effect. But yeah, it's just crazy. So yeah, the whole point of this, I guess a point I want to make is that it doesn't really matter when you started. It's just irrelevant in the context of recovery. You could have started watching porn at like 3, 10, maybe even last year, maybe you're 20 or something. It doesn't really make a difference. The recovery process is the same. It is always about coming to mental balance. And, I think the beautiful thing about meditation that I've realized is that it doesn't matter how, I don't want to use the word damaged, but no matter how you perceive yourself, and it really is just a self-perception, that it is possible to completely recover to a point of like complete recovery. Like you don't think about it. It is not part of your life. It doesn't matter how addicted you are. It doesn't matter. Yeah, your past doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you've experienced. Your brain can change. The brain is designed to change. And meditation, I think, was so enlightening for me, because it taught, like, I was actually able to see it in real time. I was like, holy crap, like thought patterns and habits that were there just completely gone. Like completely gone. It's just incredible. What matters is your commitment to your mental balance, and I guess what teaches you is that everyone has the same capacity. We all have a brain. We all have the capacity to be mentally balanced. It's only once you experience it, you're like, oh, wow, so this is what it was. And yeah, it's just incredible. So keep focusing on your mental health, and you will get there. So that brings us to the topic. Thank you for that, Julius Reed. Which brings us to the beginning of the viewer mail.
The viewer mail.
The viewer mail. Wah, wah, wah. Today's viewer mail comes from Ethan. Is it Ethan? I'm going to assume it's Ethan. Ethan Watson from Belfast, United Kingdom. Ethan says, "Hey Julius, even though I know it's wrong, I've always wanted to get my mother pregnant. How should I tell her?" Thank you, Ethan. Well, you definitely shouldn't tell her, and I can guarantee that this is the kind of thing that you basically want to permanently repress forever. I mean, obviously, you read those Reddit posts where it's like, "Oh, I had sexual relationships with my parents. Ask me anything," and you're like, "Oh, maybe I should try it." Don't try it. They're probably making it up. Definitely don't try and have sex with your mum. Of course, it depends. Is your mum hot? Does she have like a tight kahuna, double D's? Obviously, very desirable for even children, I'm guessing. Even sons of mothers. I guess we're all sons of some sort of mother. Assuming you're a male, otherwise you're a daughter. Maybe you didn't come out of the mother. Maybe you came out of the father in like some sick twist of fate. Maybe you're a witch. But yeah, definitely, is your mum hot? If she's hot, maybe, maybe you should have sex with her. Just say. She's hot, do her. Doing your mum, that's just saying that makes me just, maybe you're really into having genetically retarded kids. Maybe it's something you've dreamed about, ever since you blew that guy in a wheelchair. And you're like, damn, that was kind of a hot experience. I want my kids to also be blown when they're in their wheelchair, cerebral palsy. I don't know if that's genetic, but and why stop at mum? How's grandma doing these days? There's nothing quite like a bit of talcum powder to go with your lube. Of course, talcum powder comes complimentary. I don't know. You obviously need to use more lube because of how dry it is down there. I guess I haven't really seen a grandma's pussy. I don't know what it's like. Maybe, you have the whole family around. Maybe you can just have one of those family orgies. Mum, dad, the kids. Obviously, Uncle Jim is expected to make an appearance on your cock. But yeah, if your mum's a bit of a dog, then just repress it. Maybe try cutting. I know cutting helps, quite a few millions, a billion, probably billions. Are there a billion cutters out there? I don't think there'd be like a billion cutters. I think there's probably more like alcoholics than cutters. Damn, isn't it crazy? Like alcoholics, I reckon there's like at least a billion alcoholics. I reckon. Just putting it out there. And I wonder how many, do you reckon there's at least like a million petrol sniffers? I reckon there's like at least a million petrol sniffers in like the US alone. That's my Julius Reed report journalism tip. Don't do those things. But yeah, that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed it, then obviously give us 5 stars. 5 stars. Don't give us 5 stars, but give us 5 stars. Yeah, definitely give us 5 stars. And stay safe and stay sexy.